of them. You're wasting all your time and money on models. Paint what you have.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Model Club TV, episode 111. Wow. All ones.
111.
That's pretty cool. How are you, Scott?
Ducky.
What?
Ducky.
What does that mean?
It means I'm ducky. I'm fine. I'm whatever. You never
Ducky?
heard someone say I'm ducky?
Did you just make that up?
No, I didn't just make it up, millennial.
I have millennial.
Well, that's
Gen X. I have never, ever heard ducky in my life. That is a thing?
yeah, it's a thing.
No, it's not. You made it up.
No. Sometimes when your dad comes home, I got a ducky under the bed.
All right, we're off to a great start.
Ducky is not a made-up thing, by the way.
I will.
Ducky.
People in chat, please, let us know. I've never heard this. I'm Jason Walker. This is Scott Johansson. We are your hosts for episode 111 of Model Club TV. We got nothing again. We had a plan. Plan went sideways today, and we were going to have Jamie Sy on. He's got some stuff going on, had to cancel. So please bear with us. We will have Jamie Sy on probably next episode or the one after. And then you'll see, and I'll have another comment about a future guest as we talk about some stuff. So some stuff going on. Anyway, how's your 2 weeks been, Scott? What's new?
You said 2 weeks. I forgot. Didn't we do this last night?
I know it feels, yeah, we did do something last night. So this is going to be a shorter episode. We have what is it? What do we call those? Oh, a what's in the box. Yeah, we have a what's in the box with the two of us coming out this week for the Bride of Frankenstein. I have my box right here. So we have our Bride of Frankenstein review coming out this week. Scott, you want to give everyone a sneak thumbs up, thumbs down? What do you want to?
On that?
Yeah.
Oh, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
All right, so stay tuned for that. And we also have a what's in the box.
What's in the bottle?
What's in the bottle? Yeah, what's in the bottle of Fungcrete resin? They reached out to us and we put it through some tests, and we have our review coming out this week. So I have a lot of editing to do. So we're going to keep this kind of short this episode. Maybe it's a good thing that we don't have a guest get through some stuff. So
yeah, if we let you read it all, we should be through in about 2 hours.
I do have some reading.
Great.
What else is going on? Anything?
No.
Notice what I'm wearing?
Yeah.
Or just for you.
Septio flesh.
Septic. That's a C.
Well, that's a C.
Like this.
Uh-huh.
Flesh. So I went and saw them.
Ducky.
Went and saw them on Saturday. Always a great show. If Septic Flesh comes to your town, you should check them out.
Sell your house.
They're pretty good. They're awesome. They put on one of the best metal shows you will ever see, and I am not joking. They're really good. From Greece.
More kill your mother, kill your father stuff.
Yeah, but no, they don't. They don't say that. It's deeper than that. And
kill your brother too.
He's always, hello, my friends. Do we have any more energy? It's the greatest. He's awesome. My friends. Dude, telling you, it's a great show. Go see.
You sounded like Paul there a little bit.
Really?
If you got it a little higher, you'd sound like Paul a little bit.
My friends. I can't do a Paul. You know what? We should have the best Paul Gilroy impersonation contest. What? Wait, I'm supposed to be nice. I'm being nice.
I told you to be nice. Paul is one of the nicest guys in the hobby.
Being nice.
Okay?
Is he before or after Rob Madison?
No one is before Rob Madison.
Okay.
Look, I got Rob Madison art up here, too.
Ooh, nice.
Rob Madison art.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into it. Our first thing. Wait, did you have a movie review? Did you watch something?
Oh, no.
You do?
Hold on. I watched about 2/3 of...
Wait.
Okay. Thanksgiving.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes. I cannot recommend more highly to skip this movie.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything. So, okay.
It is just senseless gore and just
yes. Okay. That you've sold me so far.
Stupid. Eli Roth, I think, had something to do with it.
Oh, all right. Then I'm worried.
But, so what happened, just so everybody knows, I didn't pick this movie.
The wife did.
Last Friday, the wife and I went for lunch with her sister-in-law. And then that night, I decided pizza was still a good idea, even though I was kind of full still from lunch. Well, pizza wasn't such a good idea.
You were full?
Yeah, I was full. I was laying on the couch. So I went in to lay on the couch, and she's watching this garbage. Okay. And even she said, of all the movies you sit down and watch with me that I think are good, you're sitting down to this one. Okay.
I heard that it was okay.
And I was just sitting there going, the whole time going,
oh,
really?
I'm sure she was happy. I'm going to watch
even
that.
She said it was bad.
All right. Is it Sharks of the Corn good?
Probably.
Dude,
probably.
You got to watch Sharks of the Corn. I am hoping that someone from that cast, because it was filmed in a suburb of Louisville, I am hoping if anybody from that movie watched us, please come up to Wonderfest and sign my shirt or something. I want an autograph. I want 8x10s. Please.
Sounds like a movie Chinksy would be in.
Yes. Yes, I could see Chinksy being a character in Sharks of the Corn. Like, absolutely. In full Southern apparel, if you know what I mean.
Buttless chaps.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump
down
into
a bottle of tequila. You know.
We have an announcement. We've been teasing it on and off. I don't know. Scott can tell you now, or maybe in the future. We have an outing. We have a meetup. And we chose. Why is this red box there? All right. We chose March 15th. That is a Saturday. To meet up at the Kalamazoo Valley Museum to see the Ray Harryhausen miniature models of the Silver Screen exhibit. So that is March 15th. They are on Eastern time. So we will be meeting up at noon that Saturday. So if
Eastern time.
Yes, noon Eastern time, 11 Central. What was that? 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Pacific? Is anyone flying in?
Someone's going to drive it.
You never know. Brian Clark will be there.
Oh, great. So there's not going to be any food left for anyone else.
The two of you could find out. And then Scott may be going. He's trying to check schedules and get things going. And so if anyone can make it, we'll be meeting up at the museum right out front at noon. And then we'll go out, get some food afterwards, and hang out, have some beers, have some food, and call it a day. So should be fun. March 15th. The address is right here. It is 230 North Rose Street, Kalamazoo, Michigan, 49007 is the area zip code. Area code 800. Area code. It's an 800 number.
There's a regular number too.
1-800-772-3370 is the phone number of the museum. But if you need any directions or anything, just Kalamazoo Valley Museum in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Should be fun. I'm excited.
It's a general admission is free. Is it free to get into this, or we
so
don't know?
That I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I have a feeling since it's a special exhibit, there may be some sort of charge, but it says general admission is free. Who knows? Maybe. Special exhibits sometimes have extra money, and I'm excited. This should be fun. I have completely avoided all spoilers. I have not looked at any pictures. I have Ron Joseph sent me a link to someone posting all the pictures, and I want to see him in person. I don't want to see him online first. So I have not even looked into the website at all. We got that. So we're going to go right into, well, you know what? Let's do Workbench. You got anything? Kind of leads into this. Got a Workbench?
Yeah. No, I don't.
No?
Well, I've got something going here, but
Yeah, that's what I mean. It kind of leads. Scott's kind of got both. It's a workbench. It's a project. So let's go. News and reviews.
all right, because it's our show, and I
That
get
was
to
your
do
cue to make
first.
the noise. You got to make the
Oh.
noise.
Go ahead, start redo it.
Don't just make the noise.
Do 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 do. Okay. So, because it's our show, and I can shamelessly self-plug. Okay, those of us that grew up in the Chicago area grew up with a gentleman named Bill Jackson, and he had a show for a while. It was the BJ and Dirty Dragon show. It was Cartoon Town with the same characters, and Dirty Dragon was like his main puppet. And then Dirty Dragon also, for those of you it was syndicated, saw Giggle Snort Hotel. He had his same characters in that as well.
A huge influence on my life was Giggle Snort Hotel. I love that show. And the dragon was in the basement of the hotel, lighting the furnace, right?
Yeah, probably. I never watched an episode. I actually have an episode. I won a DVD from Bill, and he sent me a DVD. So I do have a DVD. Anyway,
I love this show. I loved it. Fantastic.
So I kind of paired up here with Winner.
Well, Winner.
And a gentleman by the name of Jim Engel, who is kind of an artist. He'd probably be a good. I should see if I could get him to come on. I think.
Yeah, you know what? We need guests.
He's got a great Etsy shop, or not Etsy shop, Redbubble shop with a lot of these characters and stuff. So the thing when I was having Well do this is I was having a hard time with reference because, like anything else that's made out of silicone, it changed over the years. Okay. And so Jim was nice enough to put together a model sheet for us. And, pretty much nailed it on the first try. He had like.
Well, before I even show the picture of the finish, I want to go over the sheet here for a second. So the notes, shirt drapes, note eyeballs taper near the top. Okay, cool.
Yep.
That looks like Dirty Dragon. I love it. Okay.
So,
and there we go.
Thanks to Jim Engel. And it does have a bow tie. It's not in the photo, but it does have a bow tie. And here's the real kicker. So I told Jim, I'll get you one for sure because you helped out.
Yeah.
And he says, well, can you get me a painted one? He says, I can do 2D art, but I can't do 3D art. And of course, I'm like, well, isn't this special?
Yeah.
So when you talk about the Workbench, you may be seeing a couple of these on the Workbench.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And thanks to Jim Engel. For anyone interested in this, I will have them available. I don't have a price yet.
Okay.
This particular one is 7 inches tall from the bottom of the base to the top. Hey, I don't even want to guess. I know you and I had talked about a price, and that's probably close, but I'm not even close to being able to print these yet.
Yeah.
I'm so far behind printing.
I
take a few of these to Wonderfest, but it's nothing I expect to sell at Wonderfest because kind of a Chicago area.
Yeah, it's a regional thing. More than anything. You never know though.
But it's cool sculpt too. So Dirty Dragon was the mailman. And his big thing was there's no mail because he didn't want to come out. And he'd have smoke coming out.
I was going to say, the way you have to really see them in motion because they're very floppy and very expressive.
Oh, yeah.
And as he talked, there'd be smoke coming out of his nose, his nostrils, his nostrils.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to watch it happen the way they did it.
Well, and if you didn't watch the original show, you didn't watch the original show, BJ would be up against the post office and you'd see his arm was behind there.
Yeah.
And he was, he was doing the puppet, while it was going. Now, I don't know if that continued to be the case. Trust me, my memory gets a little fuzzy. But
And it was Sunday mornings Giggle Snort was on, I think.
Giggle Snort did come on Sunday mornings, yeah.
Because I remember it was one of the reasons I wanted to get up when they were trying to get me to go to church. I'm like, well, Giggle Snort's on. I'll watch that.
And they're actually very hard to find. They were on
I
Disney
have
Plus for a
somewhere,
while.
I don't know where. I bought a bootleg at like Wizard World once of everything.
Really?
That I have to look for it. I think I might have it in a stack somewhere. I'm pretty sure I still
might
have it.
need a copy of that.
Yeah, I don't think I got rid of it. I think I have it somewhere. So, congratulations, man! It's great to see when you
and this was like a dream project for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had a few things that Wells done that I've just said this is a dream project. I know this is like the ultimate for me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like I'm done. This is it's And there's other characters from this that people are already saying the Blob, and stuff like that. And one of my big regrets right now is that Bill Jackson, who created these characters, passed away a few years ago, and I think we touched on it here.
Yeah, we did.
And man, I would have loved for him to see this because I think he'd have got a kick out of it.
You know what would be a cool way to do the Blob? Is have interchangeable eyes. So you could change the expression, like just different.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought about too, or cardboard eyes.
Well, I was gonna say cardboard. Yeah,
you can make your own because that's kind of how they were. But.
Yeah.
And
love them.
I loved everything about this show, and there was a full size Dirty Dragon costume, and they'd go to local malls and stuff. And I remember seeing them probably first or second grade at Dixie Square Mall.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, why is Dixie Square Mall?
I know why it's important. Maybe our
viewers.
Yeah, I know why.
Because that's the mall that the Blues Brothers drove through.
Yes.
And when they came flying out of the Jewel, the Jewel was right there next to where BJ and Dirty Dragon were inside the mall.
I have never been to that mall when it was open, and I have never been to it when it was destroyed and closed down. Like people would go hang out there and drink and hang out and like just to go hang out in this destroyed empty mall for the longest time. It's finally gone, right? Just as of like a couple years ago.
Most of it. I think they kept what used to be Montgomery Ward's.
Yeah.
And made it like a police garage or something.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, and it was never in a great neighborhood, which I think hampered it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of theft and people were afraid to go there. Which is funny because there were probably more cars stolen at River Oaks over the years.
That's my mall that I used to go to as a kid.
Yeah.
My grandma worked at River Oaks. That's where we used to go skateboarding because River Oaks was an outdoor mall at the time, and we would go skateboarding in there.
Oh, on those ramp things?
Yep. Those they were cool. We would tear out plants and run through there. Man,
So anyway,
I threw up in my driveway after that place once because we were skateboarding and I tried Kodiak dip for the first time. It was the only thing I had ever done. I had never in high school. I never drank. I never smoked. Nothing until after high school. And this guy talked me into trying dip. And so we went and I put the Kodiak in my lip. And then we went to Burger King and I got like a sip of soda and it washed like half of it down on accident. Half hour later, I was just puking my guts out in my driveway.
Such a horrible habit. I'm sorry. It's so nasty. I had a boss for a while that used to carry a bottle around with him and he'd spit in it. And I'd say, "You ever accidentally drink from it?" He goes, "No."
Ugh.
And about 2 days later, he comes back to work and he goes, "You motherfucker, you jinxed me." I go, "What?" I reached out, I took a swig of that. He goes, "I almost threw up driving the car."
I sure all the kids in class would always, like the dipper guys, would have their little dip cup in the back. And they would sit there. I was just like, oh, God.
Nasty.
Yeah. The good old days.
So, speaking of news, we kind of skipped over. You've got some big news.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what
Jason has joined an exclusive club. Why don't you tell us about your membership indoctrination into the club, Mr. Walker?
There was an incident?
There was an incident. that involved
my butthole.
And he was not in prison.
No. I pulled a Scott Johansson.
Why is it going to be a Scott Johansson?
Because I've made fun of
I'm
you
the
for
only
years
one
for
that
this.
will admit to this.
There was an accident of a number 2 accident. And while driving, while leaving the urgent care where my dentist was working on my mouth.
This is another whole story.
Oh, that's another. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. And I don't know if I had eaten something the night before, but there was just, I didn't even have the urge to go to this, but like there was, and it just came out. And I was like, what? And it was, like I said, going down I-80, 75 miles an hour. And at that point, you just freeze. I didn't know what to do.
Well, you should have froze beforehand. You got to lock up.
I did.
Okay. It's like Paul said, once you get to be your age now, you're over 50 now, right?
That's what someone said. Someone told me like at my birthday party, after 50, never trust a fart. Someone said that to me.
And
I was like, get out of here. And then,
like
holy cow.
Like Paul said, you got to do a safety check.
November, December, January, February. Not even 4 months later, it has come true. So
you
yes,
can do the safety check.
I am in the exclusive club of the number 2 issue.
So how far away from home were you?
I was 20 minutes from home. I
wish I would have known. I'd have called the state police and said, I'm behind this guy that's weaving and all over the road and had them pull you over.
Dude, I was at 57 and 80 when it happened. Like exactly. And so for the entire ride back, I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And then how do I explain it to Jamie when I come in the house? And I'm like,
so how did you explain it?
I just went, I crap my pants.
Yeah. I mean, there's no other way to explain it.
No, it was bad. It was bad, dude. And it soaked through. So it was.
Yeah, you had soaked through. That's bad.
Dude, it was just straight water. I'm telling it was and then for 3 days, it was like that. Something was in me.
Not for long.
No.
You didn't trust a fart for the next 3 days.
No, I didn't. Nope. I still don't. I have like PTSD. And I'm just like, oh no, could it happen again? All right. What a great segue into this. All right. I'll read it, and here we go.
Okay.
Why don't we just wait here a while and see what happened? Jeff Yeager presents the next quarter scale bust in the Thing line. Child's infected version. I guess the mystery is finally answered here in the Yeager Army. Yeager Army price is $110 via PayPal to Dupak. Dupakuk. How do you even say that? I'll just spell it.
Paku CC. Yeah.
DUPACUCC@AOL.com. For the first 45 orders, regular price afterwards will be $120. So there's an early bird there. In the PayPal comments, put child's gift. I'll collect shipping once a kit is boxed and ready. Jeff did an amazing job and will ship it out to me shortly. And this is Paul actually saying all this. So that's who's shipping. I'm looking into labels for the bottle. I will start molds in the beginning of March, and orders will start going out in March. No specific day. I always do my best. I must say thank you guys. I must say you guys are great and really never complain. It's a lot of work, but I get it done. Anyway, thanks from Jeff and me. Now check out the pictures. P.S. Once you pay, Jeff, the 110, send me a note so I can make a list also. Cool. So continuing an amazing series, here is another character from The Thing. And Scott, I really don't want to talk about it much since you still have not seen the movie and we're planning on watching it. There is a mystery at the end of the movie, and this is a kind of a what if to that mystery. So I love the detail on the back of his head. Absolutely.
I knew you would. That's
super
when I grabbed
cool.
that photo.
Yep. Super
I said,
cool.
he's really going to like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fantastic looking. I mean, really is. And then here is, I think he found the Bartles and James. No, I did what you did. Bartles and James.
No, I said Jim Beam.
The Jester, Jesternini and Brooks. Is that it? I've never. J and
Mr.
B.
Nene and Brooks, yes.
I just always just J and B. So
once again, I got drafted into something.
Uh-oh.
So Paul sent me a picture of the bottle. He said, "Are there any files of this bottle?" And I actually found a file of the bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think once we get the bottle and I can size it, we're gonna try to print it in translucent green resin.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And then Paul's gonna get the labels made up. And
it's a great piece. It really is. So I hope that does well for him. It should, because all the other ones have done really well. I see them all the time. People paint them. So hats off to Jeff and Paul. Another great piece there. Speaking of great jobs, I noticed these over there, and Paul didn't send them to us, which are his build-ups of Jeff's Curse of the Werewolf and the Reptile. And I just want to make sure people still know this is out there, right? Is this still available?
Yes.
Okay. So still available. The Curse of the Werewolf, the 1/9 scale. Is that what they're
1/8 smaller. Yeah.
So if you're interested in these, head over to Paul Gill. I'll leave the link down below. But I think it's a great paint up. Again, I love it. And then here's his reptile bust as well. Another really, really good paint up as well. Paul, send these for the gallery. You probably did, or I
seen
lost
this
them.
movie?
I've seen parts of it. I've never seen the full reptile. It's a nice character. But great paint jobs, Paul. I love them. Keep them coming. And then you put these in from Natty Ramos.
Yeah, this is from our Patreon this month. And the theme was Valentine's Day. And she's also continuing on the Alice in Wonderland grouping that she started last month. This is a great Patreon. It's $10 a month. And she puts out 3 of these a month. Okay. And it's like, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
So I'm about to either be really angry at you or very happy.
Okay.
Have you seen Roger Rabbit?
So let me tell the story. When I first heard about Roger Rabbit, okay, I was like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds stupid. Okay, and I just saw clips of the rabbit and the Eddie character, the detective.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this looks kind of silly. Okay. At the time I was shopping at the comic store, which I still shop at. And the one guy that worked there was telling me, have you seen this? And I said, no. He says, oh, dude, you got to see it. And I go, I don't know. He goes, I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in. So he brought me in the VHS. And I said, okay, I'll try it. Okay. And so I went Saturday night or whatever, I put it in. Okay. And so it starts out with this short where Roger's going to babysit baby Herman. Okay. Which at that time, first of all, I thought was some of the most amazing animation I ever saw in my life.
Not at that, still to this day is some of the best animation, I think.
I mean, when he was running around the room and the smoke puffing behind him when his rear end was on fire and stuff. So the movie instantly grabbed me, but I was like, well, what the heck is this? You know? So then, of course, at the end, the refrigerator comes down and, spoiler if you haven't seen it by now. So then we start going into the movie a little deeper. But then all of a sudden, we start to see Disney characters and Warner Brothers characters. And I'm like, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea they had gotten them, to mesh up. And then you had Betty Boop and
some of the Fleischer stuff, like the older.
Yeah, some of the Fleischer stuff was in there. You saw the old Bozo walking.
Yeah.
At one point. It was just, I was blown away. I was blown away, and it became one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wow, we agree on something. It is.
Hit
because you were in high school, right? When it came out, it had to be, or college.
Oh, it was after high school. I think
because I was like in 8th grade, I think, or 7th grade. I know I was junior high, 7th or 8th, and it was just perfectly right in there, and I loved it too.
88. Yeah, I was
88,
well
so
out
I
of
was-
high school. Yeah, I was well out of high school.
Cool, man. Yeah, and this is a cool piece. You see a lot of Jessica Rabbits. You don't see a lot of Roger Rabbit, which is disappointing. There should be some.
There's one or two out there I've gotten that are too bad. And there's one, somebody did the monkey.
Really?
The bouncer at the.
Yeah. Oh, I love that girl. Yeah.
Oh, and that was another great scene too, where Daffy Duck and Donald Duck are going at it.
The piano,
dueling pianos and all that, and it was just.
It also has probably for kids. If you're a kid going in to see this movie, one of the most heart-wrenching, horrible scenes in a movie ever is when he puts that shoe in the dip. And it's just like fighting him not to get murdered. And he just kills this shoe right in front. Oh my God, it was horrible. When you killed my brother. I love that movie. All right. Next up, White Rabbit.
Yep.
From Natty Remus.
And you know what? I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen Disney's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, I really like that's probably one of my favorite Disney ones. There's some great characters in there. And this White Rabbit's excellent.
I like the way she did the chain. Like, him holding up the watch and the chain. It's really cool. And
it is.
I'll say this. Her renders aren't as good as Wells as far as the pieces are really nice. The renders don't really do them justice.
Yeah.
Having
printed some of her stuff now, I agree with you completely. The renders aren't as good as Wells, but the files are as good as Wells.
Yeah.
The sculptures. Yeah. They're really good. And I forgot, you know what? I forgot. I was going to show, there's an Alice in Wonderland. If you're interested, just like Alice in Wonderland, the like characters and different designs, Loot Studios this month, and it ends in it'll end the day this comes out. There is a bunch of new Alice in Wonderland miniatures in there, like some really cool stuff. I was going to put them in here and I forgot to do that, but go check them out. I'll put a link below. Loot Studios has good Alice in Wonderland stuff this month.
And I wasn't sure if we showed this last time or not.
We did not.
Okay. And I'm going to call this her sexual harassment piece. And well, the reason I am is because
the face on the cat is so good.
A lot of the wokes, a lot of the wokes really got upset with this character.
Yeah.
Skunk. Pepe
Le Pew.
And said, oh, it was rape and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure that was their intent when they were making cartoons in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's romantic. Done. He's not rapey. He's romantic. Come on.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the cat looks like somebody put something in his pooter, but at least I think that's the face I would make.
Yeah,
I know it's the face your mom makes. So, man,
wow, all right.
Speaking of well, and I find this funny, you didn't group the wells together, but that's okay.
You had that opportunity as well.
No, because here's the thing. When I was putting them in there, you were screwing around right where I needed to go. So I put them lower down.
I can do that right now.
One last thing I want to say about Natty Ramos for Patreon is not only do you get the 3 STLs, but you'll get a code every month. And if you buy any of her past STLs, you get half off at CG Trader or where else she has them.
Yeah, a lot of patrons do that, and I think that is an awesome feature.
I think Well does that too,
yes,
actually.
Well does that. Kutan does that. A lot of them do that. I think if you don't do that, it's not a Patreon you probably want to join with.
So anyway, from Well, love this piece. Spike and Chester. It looks like they just kicked the cat's ass.
That is cool. And I love the simple, again, this is what I was talking about with Brian. It's that simple paint job, that gray with the black lines for the shadow, like to bring out the cartoon look to it. It does it perfectly with just black lines.
Yeah, and although these are renders, you can paint it like
You
this.
can paint it just like that. No problem. You could even use like a Gundam pen to do that. A fine point micron pen or something and do that. It would be perfect and easy. I was going to grab, I thought I had one. Oh, yeah, one of these. With a tiny, tiny little tip.
Now, a question on those.
Yep.
Can you seal those? Are those paint?
They seal.
In them?
Yep.
Okay.
And I think you can erase them with alcohol, kind of like a Sharpie if you need to, but that might mess up your paint job. So I would seal it really good. And there's even better ones than the Gundam ones. Like even you can, if you go to an art store, you can get crazy fine point pens.
Yeah, I remember John Allred recommended some because he's done a couple Spider-Mans too. I should have put that in here too because that was really nice, the last Spider-Man he did. And he uses that when they have the webs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So Spike and Chester. Spike, I love Spike. Spike was awesome.
And then we have, this is part of his Patreon, but I'm sure it's going to be available for sale too. Looks like it's right up your alley. It's a little after my time.
Time out. On Sylvester there. Is that Sylvester?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just, it's a random cat because I just looked it up.
I just noticed with the garbage can lid off with the, you know how the cartoon bump on their head, it's actually on there. I didn't notice that on the can pictures.
So it is a Warner Brothers. So, it probably is a, whatchamacallit. It's kind of a Sylvester thing, but I don't know if it was Sylvester by name. Maybe it was.
Yeah, maybe. All right, Dino Boy from
Dino Boy. So Dino Boy was a little past my time.
And before mine, maybe, because I don't remember this at all.
You don't remember Dino Boy at all, huh?
No.
Let's get
and being a dinosaur kid, like, I would have been watching. I don't remember this ever.
That's what I was shocked that you're saying this. Dino Boy.
Yeah, I don't remember this at all.
Huh. 66, that's why.
There
okay.
You go.
It's wow. I would have thought later.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't remember Dino Boy.
It's a cool piece.
But there you go. It is another cool piece. I believe that's a Patreon piece.
Yeah, it is. I have it. I got it on the page. Yep.
And the other piece here is, I had to write this down because I don't know these guys either. Phantom Fink and his sidekick, Sinister Sludge.
I love that dog's face.
Okay, and this is from Yogi's Space Adventures.
I don't know. Is that all the other ones behind it? Yeah. Those must be all the other characters.
Maybe. I don't know. But again, this is it's not one that I would have bought. But it's cool.
A cool piece. Yep.
The kid does good work, man.
Well does do good work. Amazing render.
And the renders are amazing.
All right. Now, from Nostalgic Resin Production, we have 5 O'Clock in Korea. We're happy to introduce 5 O'Clock in Korea for release the first week of March. This is approximately 1/6 scale and will be shipped $95 shipped. In the U.S., we are accepting names for the list now. PM David Horvath to get on the list. So if you are a MASH fan, this is right up your alley. Has there been a MASH kit before? Brian just showed on Model of the Movie a plastic MASH kit of the camp that had a Jeep and some of the characters.
Yes.
And a sign that he built. So we have that MASH kit. I didn't even know that thing existed. And now we have this one too. So.
And there were two. They had a MASH helicopter, which really was just the helicopter that was used, but it's the only model kit of that helicopter.
I think the likeness here is fantastic. The details, the little things that come with it are fantastic. I would hope he's going to continue this line and get some of the other characters in there.
And so people know, David did tell us The martini glass will be a little bigger.
Okay.
I think he did mention that to us because the martini glass is a little small in the prototype there. But
Yeah. And then you also get a dog tag keychain. That's Nostalgic Resin Productions. All right.
say, back to the helicopter for a second. You know, it's the same helicopter that they made the Batcopter out of.
Is it really? It looks the same. Yeah.
No one's ever made a model kit of that.
Wait, there's no bat. Wait,
kits,
no, there has to be. There's no Batcopter kit.
There were a couple resin kits, but they were really rare if they're out there. The Aurora was going to make one, and then Batman lost its popularity like overnight, so they didn't. There's a picture of an Aurora one somewhere though.
Why did it lose its popularity overnight?
They cut the budget. They cut the budget, and I think the shtick got old pretty quick. You know, it was popular initially, but I mean, you know, it was you know, and actually, so the story is NBC was going to pick it up, but they had already destroyed all the sets, the Batcave set and all that, and they didn't want the expense of having to rebuild all it, so they just said, "No, forget it."
All right, up
and
next,
someone has the model of the Penguin submarine, which would have been another cool model for someone to make.
Yeah, that would.
Michael Berglund, are you listening? Watch
right.
Worthling will take it. He'll make $1 million. I'll be sitting here with my stretch T-shirts and bad haircut. You know, Mark's wife will be sitting there with more rings than fucking Tom
more
Brady.
bling than Beyonce.
Okay,
yeah. All right, up next from Nostalgic Resin Productions, we have finalized the box art and have a fun art print of our nice fat spiders bust. The art print is by Aaron Horvath, and the build up on the box art is by yours truly. These are now available for ordering. Quarter scale is $75 shipped, and I have to put it on the screen. Quarter scale is $75 shipped, and 1/3 scale is $95. These both include the mini poster plaque as well. PM me to get on the list. The first batch mails out. It's mailing out now. So if you're on the wait list, look for tracking info coming your way. But if you're interested, here's the plaque. There's the spider on there. And pretty cool bust. Guess what? I have one right here. I'm going to open this up and then flip the camera on. Let's turn that. Go to overhead cam. Not put my address up on the screen.
Anybody that wants it, mail me. Hey,
I'll give it out pretty much, you know.
About time you start.
Uh-oh. So here's everything in the box. You get it packed up nice and tight. Get this.
So you can unpack all that.
And this. And then you get your print that's here. Okay, I'm going to kind of go over some of this. But I do want to just hit the face. And then I'll tell you why I'm not going to unwrap the rest of this. Because we're giving this away this episode. So keep an eye out for how you're going to get able to win this in a little bit, a few minutes. So
I got to think of something, or do you have an idea?
I got a plan, a new system. So Look at that. Turns out really nice. Should I get the base out? Yeah, it's an easy thing. Yeah, why not?
Why not? What's the worst can happen? You break it?
I could break it. So we have this. And see how it fits in there. And it goes plunk, just plunks right in. And there you go.
Plunk right into your mom sometimes.
Why? Why must you every time? So just so you get an idea of scale, there it is. And I'm guessing this is the quarter scale?
Yeah, probably.
There's your nameplate. Let me flip that back on. There's your nameplate, which is really nice. I like that. And then you have the plaque. And you have the art print. This is sealed. It's sealed. I'm not opening. So you have the art print. I have the picture of the art print to show everybody right here. There it is. There's the
have Aaron do an art print of us.
There's the art print. And, hey, yeah, we can pay her. And David's paint up. So there we go. Very cool. So keep an eye out for how to win this later in the episode. This could be yours for just commenting. So let me get this wrap back up, put it away for a minute. All right. I didn't open up the spider because I don't want. Doing it on
Of course you did. Oh, it fell down there. It's in the point of no return down there.
It's down there somewhere. Hang on.
Oh, here he comes. He's going to hit his head. Doing.
Ta-da! All right. I did not bump my head. All right. Up next. And this is a pretty cool thing. And I think people are. We have from our buddies that you were just talking about, Pestilence Labs. We have Nosferatu. Succumb to the darkness. He is coming from the depths of a moldering?
I know you didn't write it.
Just
read it.
Yeah, I'm just going to read it the way he wrote it. Let me try that again. Succumb to the darkness. He is coming from the depths of a moldering Transylvanian tomb. To your collection, Count Orlock approaches. This new kit by Michael Berglund and Pestilence Labs captures all the menace and malevolence of the Count's latest incarnation. From the intricacies of this son of a bitch, he put all these big words in here on purpose. Anyway, from the intricacies of his cloak to
the what are you, Mike Tyson?
Stop it. From the intricacies of his cloak to I'm saying it right. What are you talking about? Intricacies.
Okay, there you go. Better. Yes.
That's exactly what I said.
Tyson.
From the intricacies of his cloak.
God, you say it like you're a little light in the loafers. That's all. From the intricacies. Jesse's at home right now going, that's not how we'd say it. All right.
Of his cloak to putrid rotting. Oh my God. They're going to love this fucking copy read. From the intricacies of his cloak to the putrid rotting of his flesh. It's all authentically rendered in his crisply detailed 1/6 scale 3D printed kit. Standing 12 inches tall in 22 cleanly engineered and printed parts, Orlock comes with a seething mass of 7 individual rats around his feet, standing on an occult base and a printed evil parchment contract to place as you wish. His traditional Cossack hat is included, and he can be built with or without. The hat can be placed on or off at any time, so you don't have to attach it. Be the first on your block to have this ancient rotting menace on your shelf. So there we have it, and this is a great, great representation. Here's some more. The renders are not well winner quality. I would think they're good. They're very good renders, but they're done just black and white. It's not meant to be in color. So check it out. I love it with the hat on and the coat on. It's, to me, that's the kit right there. It's a perfect representation of it. And then you have, without the hat, there's the base. I am but an appetite line from the movie. And then we have some behind the scenes pictures. There's the rats, which are rather large rats. I've been around a lot of rats in my time in the city, and they are not that big.
Come to the Ford plant someday.
Yeah, well, really? Size of dogs?
The one I killed in my backyard was 15 inches, tail to tip of nose. Yeah. So
those are big rats. And then there's the coat, kind of like catches around it. It's a great kit. What do you think, Scott? You didn't see the movie.
First of all, I want to give kudos to whoever fucking taught Mark Worthling how to print, because it's a really nice looking print.
That would be both of us.
I didn't see the movie. I heard the movie was not that great, but
some people love it.
This kit here is really nice.
Yeah.
And well engineered. Mark, I was talking to Mark about it. He says the engineering of this thing is just amazing. So
yeah, I I love the hat. I love that look. Like, that's really cool. Well done, guys. Well done. So again, head on over to Pestilence Labs, get on the list. It is. You can't go wrong with this. I think this is fantastic. Well done, everybody. Michael Berglund, great sculpture. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And a little surprise happened. I think this was today. Came out.
Maybe yesterday. I don't know. I've known about it. For
I saw
a
it
while.
today. I haven't seen. I didn't know anything about it because you're in the know with with everyone.
Well, because people like me.
I know people do like you. I don't know.
Because I don't, I don't criticize them, and I don't talk about their arms in the middle of nowhere and shit like that. Okay, that's all you.
Hey,
okay?
look! Notice the arms are attached on this bust.
Wow. Let's go.
Happy Monday, my friends. So it was today. Many know I produced. This is Saul Alvarez talking. Many know I produced this beautiful Lon Chaney Phantom of the Opera bust, sculpted for me many moons ago by the very talented and good friend Mark Van Tyne, with one of the best likenesses to the character and beautiful, fine detail work. Let's pause right there. Scott, do you agree with that?
I agree with it so much. And I'm not a fan of this character per se. Okay, it's iconic. But this is one of the few model kits of the character I own, is the original release of this. And I have to say, it's probably, for me, in the top 5 sculpts Mark Van Tyne ever did.
I agree. I agree completely. This is a beautiful Phantom. Beautiful. Like, awesome. Because it was traditional sculpt in one size quarter scale, I decided to get it scanned for 3D printing. I can now print it in different sizes. The scanning was done by the great folks of 3D Printing Orlando here in the great state of Florida and touched up to refine it back to its original state by CGverse, which came out flawlessly. I highly recommend all of these guys. The printing is done for me by my good friend and master at his craft, Mr. Mike Van Scoy of NY3D Creations. I cannot be any happier with the end result. Thank you to all involved. The bust will also come with music sheets. Costs for the beautiful prints are as follows. 1/6 scale is $70, 1/4 scale is $90, 1/3 scale is $130 plus shipping. PayPal marked as family and friends or Zelle accepted as payment. PayPal is Saul62 at AOL.com. Keep an eye out for some more goodies coming soon. Here's the part breakdown. Dude, that is like that scan turned out great and printed great. Like this looks great.
Well, so
what do you know? Background.
I saw the scan before it was cleaned up.
Yeah.
And the scan was pretty clean, but there was still a lot of cleanup to be done. And I don't want to say I was skeptical, but I withheld judgment. And the other day I was privileged enough to actually see the finished before he made his actual announcement. And I got to say it was, did a really nice job.
Yeah, it looks great. So again,
and I think you're going to see more of this as time goes by.
I was thinking after I read this and I was putting it into the slides, I was thinking the same thing. I think you're going to start to see a lot of this because the option, and I think everyone, our guys, if you notice, he goes bigger on this, right? It goes 1/6 scale, 1/4 scale, 1/3 scale. I think he needs to drop it down as well. Get some miniature stuff in there.
Well, he can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you could adjust a good, like 3-inch, perfect. Mm-hmm. Be really, really
and I was talking to a fellow modeler, Shane McGowan, the other night about this a little bit and the scanning and stuff. And to me, as the scanning gets better, and there's good scanners out there, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
And as those home scanners get better, you're going to see more of this because there's going to be less cleanup needed to the point where there's probably going to be zero cleanup needed, frankly.
There's something we have not talked about a lot coming. And people were mad about digital sculpting. We haven't even touched on this yet. I don't think we have.
Are you going to say them 2 horrible letters?
Yeah.
let's see what happens. But
It's
it's
coming.
out there too. That's
Yeah.
out there now too.
The AI sculpted programs where you just type in what you want and it creates a STL of what
I'll
you
be
want.
honest with you. I went to one and just threw some cartoon figure in there just to see
Yeah.
what it would do. And I'll tell you, it wasn't bad. You know, so it's yes.
We are at a point. We're at a very scary point in time where,
well, it's great for the collector like me or you that says, "Ooh, I love this piece of art. I'd love to have it in 3D." Okay,
Yeah.
so it's great for us. What it's not great for is the poor artist, whether it be a traditional guy or a digital guy now, that makes his living that way, that maybe we would have hired to do it, but now we don't have to. And it's
it's
coming.
It's
I don't know
scary.
how
It's
far
coming.
down the road.
It's not very far down the road because things are going to start. As I saw, really love them or hate them, wherever you are on that spectrum, doesn't matter. With the Elon, I saw a post on X yesterday saying we're very close to the singularity, and Jamie's like, "What's the singularity?" And the singularity is at the point where AI is smarter than people, and at that point, everything changes, and then it's just going to start. And I have a friend that's very, very high up in the AI industry, and some of the stuff he's told me is so terrifying that I don't know where we go from here for some of this stuff. It's going to go one way or the other way. And
there's an aspect of it that's scary.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That all being said, I want you to turn around and look at your paint rack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Turn around and look at your paint rack. Not a single bottle of paint there that's not smarter than most humans on the planet. I'm just saying. So
That's true.
You don't need that much intelligence to be smarter than most people.
We are in a very interesting time. Things are going to get weird quick. So, speaking of digital sculpting, I was alerted to this Patreon a month and a half ago, or I came across it on accident, and then someone showed it to me, which was Mark Worthling actually, saying, "Hey, do you have these?" And I'm like, "Wait, what are those?" And they were from Bad Wolf Collectibles. This is his Patreon page. And he is doing what I think a lot of garage, and I've been talking to him. This is a potential guest. We're going to try and get him on here in the next couple episodes. He's in Brazil, just like Well. I wonder if they know each other. Because, Brazil's a small country. And he is doing nothing but fantasy art tributes from classic 70s, 80s, 90s artists, and kind of just picking an artist, which I'm sure would piss off those artists if they knew this was going on, and taking their famous paintings and turning them into sculptures. And he started with Frazetta. I kind of want to, there's some Frazetta pieces.
Boris, I thought he did Boris, right?
And yeah, there's some Frazetta. There's Boris Vallejo. It was Vallejo. Frank Cho. There's some Frank Cho in there, and some other things, and some really, really nice. If you're
the Vallejo he did was one that Steve West had done years ago in 3D. One of Steve West's first pieces.
Yes.
And I don't think there's anything intentional here going on.
No, I don't think he even knows it exists. Really,
because when you look at what's possibly coming.
Right. So that's what I have. This is March. This is what's planned for March, which is Vampire's Kiss by Boris Vallejo. Is it Bisley or Bisley? I can never.
Beasley. Simon Beasley, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've always seen that name, never knew how to pronounce it. His artwork, which is amazing. He always had these really cool. Like if you go back to old Dragon magazine and the Comic and Wizard and all that, there's some really good 90s, 80s artwork in there as well. So this is what's on tap for March. And how can you go wrong with those two? And he's going to keep going. This is his plan for 2025 for Boris Vallejo. And he's going to try and get all of these. I think that's what it is. 4, 5.
Yeah, and another one of those is a Steve West. Well, two of them are.
Yeah, a couple of them. So going to be doing all of them again. And Again, you could make, with that Steve West one, you're stuck with that one scale. Here, if you're a patron, you could crank out miniatures of this. You could make them as big as you want, which is what we were going to talk to with Jamie, and I'll come up at the end of the show. But yeah, this is exciting. And I think a lot of this is finally coming around. And these are the choices that he had up to vote on for the, what did you say? Bisley?
Simon Beasley. Bisley.
Someone correct us if we're wrong. But you have Julie Strain Fat, which I know has been a garage kit. That Fact 2 was a garage kit. Slain was a garage kit at one point. Some of these all have, I think I voted for Slain. And I think I voted for C, the zombie looking alien. But you don't see much of this in the 3D print world because, again, it's a lot of superheroes and not a lot of this fantasy art. So it's great. I'm really excited to be like a Patreon on like part of this and see where it goes. And I can't wait to have him on the show and talk to him about it and how he got started and all that. So hopefully we can get him on. A little bit of a language barrier we'll work through, but we'll get it. We'll get it working. So cool. Then I wanted to show this. This is from CA3D, and I showed the Obelix before. This is the Asterix to go with it that came out now, and they're going to be releasing a base for both figures so you can put them together as a diorama, and the dog. And again, two just stellar pieces. And
Bisley, according to this.
All right, I was close. I was right. So very cool piece. Asterix comes out. I think I just got it last month, or it's coming out this month. And then he also has a really nice Davy Jones coming out this month as well over on CA3D. So, which I had sold mine, kind of hoping that there would be one coming that's better detailed and stuff, because with all those seashells and everything, man, cool stuff. Very cool. So that's what we got for news and reviews. We have one more unboxing. And last episode, I showed that I bought these from Mike Swisstack over Cthulhu Gizzard on Etsy. You'll find him on Facebook. I got the Witch and the Demo Gorgon, and I talked about these. And Mike, when he saw that I ordered them, he's like, "Hey man, I got some more stuff I'm going to send you." And I'm like, "Great, I'll give it away on the show." So for those of you who don't, this is the box you always get from Cthulhu Gizzard. It has a really cool label on the side. Labeler. Has a really cool label on the side. And then I'm gonna open this up. Where's the open? I love Mike. One of the nicest, funniest dudes. And I will put a link down below to his Etsy shop as well, so in case you want to get in there. I will link also to his Facebook page.
I love the intricacies of his
labeling. Trying not to kill my hand. So I have not even opened this yet. So here we go. Flipping this over. Overhead cam. Focused. All right. Jason, here are some goodies for you. Hope you enjoy them. My friend, best regards, Mike Swiss. So he always sends this, like how to prep and painting tips on there. So if you're brand new to modeling, that comes with it. There's his card is also in there. Let's get a good shot of that on the camera. All right. So now, what did he send? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Cool. I'm excited. Let's open these up. We got. Hey, talk for a second.
Why is this show an hour?
We're almost done. All right. And he uses a lot of bubble wrap. What did he send? Uh-oh. I knew what he sent, but look at that. Okay. So for those 80s horror fans, the first thing we're giving away from Mike Swisstack is a Shorty bust wall plaque. Again, it's flat, can sit on the wall. You can put a magnet in there. Really, it's solid, nice and heavy. But that is a really cool Shorty. Check it out. And I have another Shorty. This is Ina's Shorty I just printed. Look at the difference in size. Dude, that's killer. And Mike always kind of puts his own twist on it. They're never like perfectly, but he kind of does his own twist on them, which I really like too. So there you get that one. And then what's this one? Ooh, a Batman. at that. So we have these to give. Let's go back to Scott. Check them out, Scott. All right. My question for Scott. Do we split the Batman and the clown up?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to try a new system that I've kind of figured out so that we don't, by watching another YouTube channel, actually, so that I'm hoping the comments don't get deleted and we don't miss anybody. We're going to rely on emoji. So if you would like to win or be entered into the name pulling for the Renfield, let me pull it back out. If you would like to win the Renfield, in the comments down below, check them out. Okay. There is a cockroach emoji, a bug. And I want you to comment with only the cockroach emoji for the Renfield. Okay. So that's how you get entered into that one. For the clown, for Shorty, there is a clown emoji. Please make separate comments for each one. It helps me out. So if you'd like to win the Shorty bust, the Shorty wall plaque, a clown emoji. It's in there. I saw it. I'm assuming there is a bat. If you can find a bat emoji, Scott, if you go to YouTube comments and you click it. And for people who don't know, underneath where you comment, there's a little face, and then there's hundreds of little emojis you can do to pick from. Dude, this Batman's sweet. I love his own little twist. He's got a cool scar on his lip too. Love it.
Yes, when you go to comment, there's a little smiley face.
Yes, and you just click there.
And then when you click on that, there's people.
There's tons of stuff.
There's
Tell me
tons
this.
of stuff.
Or find me one that works with Batman. So for the clown, it's a clown. For Renfield, it's the cockroach. I know it's in there. I saw it. You have to do some searching, some work to win these. And for Batman, is there a bat?
I'm working on it. Is it a cockroach or a cricket? Oh, the cricket's next to the
Yeah,
cockroach.
there is a cockroach.
You could have done a spider for Renfield.
Yeah. You want to do a spider?
There's a spider. It's right next to the cockroach.
All right, do the spider. Do the spider for Renfield. Clown for the clown.
I'm sure there's more than one clown.
As long as it's a clown, it'll be fine. This way, there's no words, no typing. They don't get deleted. And for Batman, unless you find something else that works for Batman.
Working on it. Didn't know there was going to be a quiz.
I didn't know either.
There's a bat.
There's a bat?
Yes. There's
Okay.
a bat.
So for Batman, the bat emoji. Clown emoji for Shorty. Look, that looks so evil. It's awesome. I'm going to have to go back and buy one for myself. And then for Renfield, the spider emoji. All right. We good? I think we're good. And we'll pull names for those next episode.
Okay.
All right. Emails, voicemails, and corrections. That's the wrong time for this.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's a blooper. See?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. First email. And this is from Matthew Cook. Matthew Cook. Greetings from West Michigan. I have been watching your YouTube shows for some time now and enjoyed them immensely. We got to check out what's wrong with Matthew. As much as I enjoy your new product announcements, I find your discussions about painting and construction techniques the most interesting part of your podcast. I've recently acquired an old 3D printer and I'm in the process of fixing it, LCD screen, and setting it up. Do you have any tips for new guys who are just getting their toes wet in that part of the hobby? Pause right there. We'll come back to it. I heard you talk about working with kids in model building and was wondering if you had any tips. Our club has several kids show up on a Saturday morning meetings. It's great to see them bringing their stuff in. I see a lot of Warhammer and Gundam type stuff from them, as well as plenty of planes and tanks. To me, it's all the same hobby. We meet at a high school and have found that having the school involved has been a very good thing. It is also where we have our biannual show, West Michigan Great Lakes Challenge, which could not happen without support from the school. Just to show that I am not a poser, I included a picture of my resin Batman for fun. It's probably the closest thing I have to what is normally on your show. We won nothing at Wonderfest, but I still had a great time. I just put my stuff up on the table and keep moving forward at shows. So I'm going to have his Batman. I'm going to put it. All right, here's Matt's Batman. So we show it and we'll put it in the gallery as well. There's Matt's Batman. Well done. Ooh, and some other, is that like Macross next to it or something, the plane. Very cool. All right, Matthew. 3D printing tips for beginners, Scott. What's the first thing you're going to tell them? What do we, because I think everyone at this point should own a 3D printer. It's something.
First of all, we have a video out there that touches on some basics.
Yes.
So search for that. Maybe you can link it. Watch more videos than this one. Okay. Watch a lot of videos. Watch videos that pertain to your specific printer. Okay. It's a learning curve. Okay.
That
Ask
goes like
questions.
this. The learning curve is, to me, it's super hard and then it's easy.
And then, but it still goes up. I mean, I still learn things, but I mean, it's, like you said, initially, and then it will level out. So it might get frustrating at times. Stick with it and you'll have a ball.
I think that's my biggest advice. Do not quit. It is going to be very frustrating for a little while. And there's a lot to learn.
Ask you to print for them?
Say no.
Your answer is no.
Yes, that's where I'm at. Try not to get frustrated. Stick with something in the beginning and just keep using that resin and kind of get it dialed in. And once you get it out, there's some really good tests. If you look for, I think, Frozen or any Cubic, these are great test pieces. If you find these, Matt, I can send you the link to where to find these, or even just send you the file to test your exposure. These are great because they print quick. And these pound test pieces, I can send you this too, are probably two of the best, I think, testers for me that I've used. But watch videos on supporting your model, watch videos on exposure times, and like Scott said, on your specific printer. Again, the biggest thing is don't let it get to you. It's going to be hard at first.
And hollowing and orientation are two of the big things where to put your holes for. They're not for drainage, they're for suction. Well, they work for drainage, which is great. Okay. But the idea of the hole is for suction.
Yep. You don't want a suction cup.
And
you're trying to print the least surface area at once. Is kind of what when you're thinking of your orientation, you want to move that around to where you get the least stuff touching the FEP at one time. If you kind of keep that in your head, it'll kind of make
especially
sense.
to start out with. So when you start out, if you're printing, say, this square, okay, you do not want to print it where your build plate starts off like this and you're trying to print this whole surface. You want to tilt it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what happens is then you're going to be printing just a little bit here, and it's going to move its way up. Now, as you go farther, it's going to get bigger. That's okay as long as you're supported well.
Yeah.
But you don't want to try to print one big giant surface as your first layer.
Right. So cool.
There you go.
Thanks for watching.
Advice. It's all the free advice you get.
There's a lot. And if you have questions as you get started, send them in. We'll answer them as we go.
What is this picture you put up here?
So what is this picture I put up here? This was in response to an email from Joe Heil. And Joe Heil, and Matthew, Kalamazoo, we'll be there, Western Michigan. So if you're close, March 15th, the Harryhausen Museum exhibit. All right, so Joe sent us an email, which was going to go right along with what Jamie Sy was going to talk about this episode, which is bigifying things. So here's what Joe sent me. Hey, Jason, I hope that all is going great for you and that the school year is not too stressful. Yeah. Have you seen the huge dragons and creature prints that Loot Studios is creating? Wow. I would love to know more about them. Maybe you could get them on Model Club. I would also like to know more about, if you do not have a 3D printer, How do you get dragons like what Loot Studios have designed actually printed? As I think they only sell the STL files and not the actual printed model. Maybe you guys could explain. So there's a little bit of what Jamie was going to come on to talk about in this email, and there is a little bit of how the business of STLs work from Loot Studios. So yes, Loot does not sell like printed figures. You have to print them yourself. Or there's people that have the merchant thing, which Joe, you've already been doing. If you could, I think on Etsy, there's got to be people that are merchants for Loot Studios files that can print them for you. I don't have the merchant end of that because I forget how much money it is, and I've just printed them for myself. As far as the dragons come, the dragons are pretty big. They have big stuff already, but I'm going to put up this picture, and this is from, the gentleman's name is Leroy Voiles. This is the latest Tiamat dragon they put out. Now, normally, this thing is only about this big. It's not huge. And they have some huge, Loot Studios does make some of the biggest files because they have statue pieces and they also have prop pieces that come with every month. But what someone did is took this file, which is your normal miniature file, which probably wouldn't be much bigger than a Dungeons and Dragons figure. And they ran it through a program most likely called Luban, which is what Jamie was going to come on and talk about, which lets you cut up that file into smaller pieces, and it will put keys in it for you so you can print it any size you want. So people will take small things and make them life size or bigger. Jamie right now is working on a life size creature from the Black Lagoon that he got from Wicked Studios that he cut up in Luban and is printing it one little part at a time as he's going on an FDM. This dragon that they have in this picture was printed on an FDM. So it's all plastic and it's enormous what they've done with it. So it's kind of, and that's, I think for me, the coolness of 3D printing is you can make it any size you want. There was a guy going back a few months ago that was making the Tremors graboid, the head of that thing. And he made the Tremors creature life size and it's hanging on his wall because he just went in that program, cut that file up into like 60 pieces and then printed them a little bit at a time and then just seamed them all together.
Yeah. And I did the opposite with my Kong piece.
Yeah.
And you can see it actually on our resin review. You can see I printed a couple of them up. And they're little 6-inch Kongs. And it's what was once an 18-inch figure. So yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's the yawn. So yeah, as far as getting files from Loot Studio, you have to find someone that has them. Joe, not to add another client to the list, but I think we could probably work something out. I'll look and see how much it's going to cost. Because I know you like things big, but for me doing the big things like the one I just showed, I don't know if I don't have the printer capable really. It would take me. You're looking at something that could take months. Like Jamie's working on that creature now, 2 months, I think. So it's stuff that takes a long time, like droids and stuff, like 6 months, a year. You're printing that.
You know who else likes things big?
My mom. All right, that's the show, everybody. Scott, did we forget anything?
No, I want to go on record. Paul Gill is one of the nicest guys in the hobby. Okay, I just want to go on record there.
I would agree with that.
Now get off my ass. Okay.
Wow. Oh, I forgot a hobby tip. So for those of you who watch the show for hobby tips, which are few and far between these days, because of everything else going on, I stole something from another channel. Ninjon talked about this week. And this. All right. So there's self-adhesive kind of grip tapey bandaging. And he was seeing because a lot of tattoo artists use them to wrap around their tattoo needles and guns to make it easier to hold and like not your hand doesn't cramp as much. And he was wondering, well, can you wrap your hobby tools in it? And so he started doing it. I don't know about Scott, but you use your hands a lot for work. I use my hands a lot for work. my hands are sore all the time. So when I'm holding a paintbrush, especially an airbrush, my hand cramps up a little bit. So you can take that grip tape stuff and wrap it around a paintbrush, make it easier to hold, no problem. I wrapped it around my airbrush, around there to make it a little easier to hold, to make and thicken it up. And then I took my tools that I use all the time that I had originally wrapped in gaffer's tape, and then I rewrapped over the gaffer's tape with that so that they're easy. These are the mold line removers. So they're easier to hold because the handles just are too skinny for me and it's not comfortable. And I even took my God hand and wrapped those because those are little, like the little tiny hands. And not what we have. But this stuff works great. It's $10 for 16 rolls. You can find them even cheaper.
How strong are the tips on those God hands?
I learned my lesson. All right, that's the show, everybody. Bat emoji for Batman. Clown emoji for the clown, for Shorty. Spider emoji for Renfield. Leave them in the comments. We love everybody. Hope to see you in Kalamazoo on the 15th. High noon. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great 2 weeks. Look out for 2 videos coming. They should be out soon, if they weren't out already. So say goodbye, Scott.
Goodbye, Scott. Lighting's fairly good.
Fairly, yes. How are your bingo wings doing?
My what?
Your bingo wings.
My bingo wings? No.
You got bingo
Nothing
wings
compared
yet?
to yours. Nothing compared to yours, fatty.
Do I have? I don't got bingo wings. You got a haircut?
I didn't.
Oh, what'd you do? Wear a hat?
No.
Comb your hair?
No.
What happened? What's going on? Gel?
It's the same as it was last night.
Dippity doo? What is that? Dippity? What is that?
Dippity doo? Yeah, dippity doo. I can like to dippity doo your mom.
Oh! Ow!
What?
Why? Why take a shot? An unnecessary shot.
I don't know that it was unnecessary.
Ah.